What they didn't account for is how long it takes to get the permits through the city. Hey everyone, Andrew Howie here with Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. Hey, you found us here on Facebook, you found us here on YouTube, wherever it is you found us, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe. We're trying to build this channel to build a community for investors just like you. 2022 has just come to an end. It was a great year for Pine, it was a great year for our investors, but that didn't come without a few bumps in the road for some of them. So I'm going to go through 5 things that we saw, little mistakes that they made. None of these lost money, but still kind of got into their pocket where they didn't make as much profit as they would have liked to. So number 1, waiving that inspection. A lot of people do this because it helps with making your offer on the property, but you better make sure that you have a trained eye or have someone that has a trained eye who's looking at that. So what happened in this case is the client got in there and 1 week in, they found foundation issues. So that was a big chunk of money that came out of their pocket. So that's number 1. Try to avoid that. Try to make sure that if you're not doing inspection, that you're well aware of what to look for to avoid that mistake. So number 2 that we saw is sticking to your budget, particular the scope of work in this case, where we had a client that started off with a budget and almost doubled it by the time it was all said and done. So kept adding things like nicer sheds, fence, new flooring that didn't need to happen, these kinds of things, to where by the time he went to refinance out of our loan, the cash flow that he was getting from this property for rent, was not as high as it should have been, and all could have been avoided. Okay, number 3, finding a property that if you intend to flip it and you can't flip it for what you think, make sure that you're able to hold that property possibly and cash flow on it. So another client of ours got into the situation where he didn't lose money on it, made a little bit, but he listed that property once the market started to shift on him and didn't make as much as he wanted to. So now what he's doing is he's making sure that if he cannot flip those properties, that they will refinance and cash flow for him at the same time. So he's got 2 options there. Okay, number 4, when you go to refinance, similar to the other thing, you do not want to hold our loan for too long, right? So this client came in with a pretty small scope of work, and it only took them 3 months to finish their job. However, they didn't realize that when they were going to go refinance, they had to wait 6 months to refinance. So they had to pay our loan for the next 3 months and were not able to cash flow on that property until they were out of our loan. So they're literally sitting there for 3 months, twiddling their thumbs, waiting to get this thing refinanced. So that's number 4. Number 5, this is a big one too. So we were getting near the end of the year, and this deal was a lot split. So they had a house, and it was on half of the property that they were going to split, and then they were going to sell off that land on the other side. What they didn't account for is how long it takes to get the permits through the city. So they missed their window near the end of the year and had to wait 2 more months before they could actually contact the city to get that permit process going, therefore holding our loan a little bit longer than what they wanted to originally. So that's 5 mistakes to avoid from 2022 that we saw. There's plenty of others. Happy for you to call, and we can go through a whole bunch more if you'd like, because we want to work together so you succeed.